Good morning everyone. So we are here in Norwich at the DVSA test centre. It is just to the roundabout to the right. It's quite busy. So as to not annoy people sitting their test, both car and motorbike, I've come around the corner. We're going to start from here so that I don't get in anyone's way. We're going to run through my actual test route, my actual Mod 2 test route. Whilst we're running through it, I'm going to kind of point out the things that they're looking for, not what they're trying to catch you out on, but what they're trying to be able to demonstrate that you can competently do. And it is an actual real test route. So this video is going to be about half an hour. That's roughly how long it's going to take us to run around the test route. I'll talk through it when I can. Some bits of the video will be fast forwarded a bit, especially if I'm just on a dual carriageway, straight line and that. Keep the video length down. So the idea of today is to give you an idea of what a test route looks like. If you're here in Norwich sitting your test, there's a high chance that this will actually be your test route. It's to give you a chance to actually pass your test first time, unlike myself. However, I can confirm that I actually had this exact test route consecutively. So both tests were done the exact same route. So it's a very popular route here in Norwich for plenty of reasons. It has everything that they need to tick off. What I'm not going to do is do all of the stops. So you will be asked to stop 3 times, maybe even 4 on your test. It will include just pulling over the side of the road, pulling off, pulling over behind a parked car and pulling off round the parked car, and where possible pulling off on a hill start. So if it's not too busy as we go around, I will do them, but there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to do those. The other part, obviously, that I'm not running through is the beginning of the test. That would be in the test centre. So one of the things that I need you to think about when you're sitting in the test centre waiting is where you're actually going to park your bike. Okay, so look at where the exit is. Do not put it in the space closest to the exit, because that's going to give you a really steep turn out of the test centre. You're then obviously going to have your document check, make sure that you have your driving licence, your theory test certificate, your Mod 1 pass with you, and your CBT certificate for your Mod 2, and also you're then going to have your tell me, show me, pillion questions, and your eyesight test. Once you've done that, your test will begin. You'll be radioed up beforehand by the instructor. Now, what they do on Mod 2 tests very, very frequently, and particularly here in Norwich, is that they will set up your Mod 2 independent ride at the test centre, because they don't want to have to pull you over to do it, or trying to explain while you're concentrating on other things. So in both situations with my independent ride was set up before I left. I was told to follow a couple of signs, or straight over the roundabout, turn right, or turn right, straight over. It takes you to the same place here in Norwich. You either go in one way and back the other, or vice versa, and then to follow the signs to X place. After those signs ran out, after about 10 minutes, I was given a very simple instruction: now follow the signs to the next place. And then that lasted for about 15 minutes of the ride, which I'll talk through. And then I was guided from there. So we're going to get started. I'm going to run off from here. It's slightly a different approach to the roundabout. Literally the test centre is just to the right on the roundabout, like 50 metres up there. As we go to the roundabout, you'll probably see some people waiting to have their test. There's actually the gentleman who took me for my test there waiting to take someone else, and the actual bike that I sat my test on, so they're waiting to go in for theirs. So what I want to do is I want to get started before they go off, because I don't want to be going around the same route following someone on their actual test to cause them a problem. So let's get started. So my key tips really for your Mod 2 is be confident, ride for yourself, forget the examiner is there. And ride safely but assertively. The examiner wants to see you're confident on the road, you know what you're doing. You're approaching junctions with confidence. And remember your lifesavers. They're called that for a reason. So we're going into a 40 speed limit. I'm actually going to talk through the speed limit signs, all of that, because some of these are key to what they're looking for. So I was told, follow the signs to chroma, and that was it, he stopped talking. Okay, so remembering we're still in a 40 speed limit. Make yourself aware of the speed limits around the test centre. The test centre is likely to be actually in a 30, and then depending on where it is, we're on a business park here, heading out towards our major A roads, we're in 40s here. So again, look out for the speed limit. We're on a major A road now, but we are not at the national speed limit sign yet. Still in the 40 until you get there. People have failed. And then they want to see you've read the signs and you're accelerating. And they want to see you getting up to speed quickly. Obviously assessing the road conditions, doing it safely, but they need to see you doing a certain speed, and I believe it's about 53 miles an hour. Which meant that I had to turn right and change lane on the dual carriageway. So obviously they can't guarantee that you're going to have to overtake, but what they can do is ensure that you need to change lane and get yourself into the right hand lane for a roundabout of a dual carriageway. Okay, so we're entering a 50 mile an hour speed limit on a single carriageway road. So they're going to be looking for you to be able to get up towards the speed limit, road conditionings permitting, your road positioning on bends. Watching out for hazards emerging in front of you. Okay, approaching a national speed limit sign, and as is very common this time of year, look at the signs, they're completely covered by the bushes. So you've really got to keep your wits about you to make sure that you're seeing the signs. Okay, remembering to check your mirrors frequently. Okay, approaching 30 mile an hour. Again, if you're not scanning the road, this one is slightly obscured by a bush. Selecting the right gear for the corner. Road positioning, very tight corners. And this was where my independent riding ended. And I was told to turn right at the roundabout. Now this is a mini roundabout, make sure you go round it. Do not go over it. Still 30 mile an hour. Now you're going to see there's a complete change in the type of riding that we're doing. It's becoming much more windy. Some curves in the road. Okay, so entering into a 50 mile an hour zone, looking to accelerate up, obviously recognising the sign that the road is going to narrow ahead of us. So you don't want to be accelerating too hard towards a hazard. 40 mile an hour max speed, this bend is nasty. Can get a lot of grit on the road from the sides. There's a few of them as we go around. You've got to be really careful of what's on the road. Remembering to adopt that road position that opens up the limit point of the bends, allows you to see round them further. Okay, so approaching a school very soon. Right, we still had the repeater signs, but I can see through the bushes up ahead we're approaching a 30 zone. Okay, so this was where I was pulled over to start with, and being it's quiet, I'm going to do that as well. So I was pulled over just up here by before the tree. No, I wasn't. I was pulled over further back, so I'm not going to do that because I've missed it. But it's a busier road. It is a busier road, and that's why I was pulled over there. Okay, so straight over the roundabout. Still in a 30. This is where people get catched out or caught out, is they'll accelerate towards the national speed limit sign because they'll think the danger is behind them. So back there on that long straight was the first time I was pulled over to do my first stop. The reason they use there, I believe, is so that you've got a bit of a busier road. It's not like a main road, but there is traffic, so there is the high likelihood you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to make sure it's safe. It's not a really quiet housing estate road where they pull you over and you're not actually going to do anything. Okay, so as you can see, we're doing a lot, and I do mean a lot of like country roads. Okay, approaching a give way sign. So on my first test at this junction, a woman come flying along and never indicated until she went round the corner. She didn't even indicate round the corner, and he mentioned that I hesitated. It wasn't why I failed. But nothing coming, they want to see you straight going, no hesitation. Then plenty of space around cars. That was the reason I didn't pass first time. Apparently passed a car a bit too close in the examiner's opinion. I'd love to hear your comments actually on if you've had you've done your mod test and you failed, on what you failed for, because we do hear a lot of examiner's opinion type things. And if you get onto the boards, I mean, leave us some comments, because if you get onto like the forums and the boards online and you start asking questions about why people failed, there's a lot of animosity around people thinking that they were hard done by. There's a lot of animosity around people feeling that actually what they were failed for was the examiner's opinion and not an actual fail point. Now, it's a difficult one. I can't even remember going too close to the car that I failed on. And at no point did I think on my test, oh my god, I was really close to that. So, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think more than the car, the bike test is quite subjective to opinion. Did they feel what you did was safe? And would have another examiner been okay with it? So for example, I have heard of people breaking the speed limit, some nasty stuff on the road here, breaking the speed limit, doing a 70 in a 50 on their test, and the examiner saying to them, that's happens a lot, you only went up to 70, it's the only thing you did, I'm happy to pass you. That's ridiculous. It should be black and white. You broke the speed limit, you fail. But it's not. Or maybe it should be, and examiners take a view, and they take a view that really they're not meant to. I don't know. I mean, it worked out for that individual, but there's someone else who's probably gone 5 miles an hour over the speed limit in a 40 and been failed for it. So, you know, there has to be some form of consistency. I really, really want to hear your comments on how you find the Mod 2, and especially if you failed one, or multiple, what you failed for. And whilst you're leaving a comment, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. It's going to enable us to get monetized eventually, which will enable me to do more and more to help you guys. So remember, I'm remembering this route. Now, really, really sneaky left turn here, because basically there's a junction right before it, and you've got to be careful that you don't indicate too early. Just watch out for things like that. They're not things to catch you out necessarily, they're things they want to see that you're able to deal with in the right way. They have to test you against some things, not just going to let you ride around in a straight line without any hazards. Okay, so we're leaving the country roads here, and we can only turn left. And this is the joining an A road, joining a dual carriageway. So this is not a very nice junction, I'm not going to lie to you. And we've been really, really lucky. He's moved over, that's good. So they're going to look for assertiveness, but they're also going to look for safety. They want to see that you can safely join. And again, you get up to the pace of the traffic, the 70 mile an hour, quickly, safely, in line with the conditions. So if it's not safe to be doing 70 because it's throwing it down with rain, they will understand that. So one of the minors that I got on the test that I passed was at this roundabout, and it was slowing down too soon. Okay, so I got told to go right towards Brundle, but I slowed down for the roundabout too soon. Now there's a distinct possibility that this individual with the learner car in front is actually doing their test. So we may well be following. So it's all the way around, indicating, lifesaver, off we go. Into 30, nice and safe. So, I had two amendments to the test route. On the route that we are about to go on, was not that one. There's a road, it's not that one. You have to forgive me, I am looking for the turning, and it's this one. So we came into here. So much quieter road, taking you past parked cars. It's actually what they were looking for. Don't stall it, Michael. Okay, and round that little housing estate bit was exactly where they pulled me over to do the pull around the parked car, and then we headed back to this roundabout here. So got a little bit of housing estate riding, somewhere nice and quiet to definitely going to find a parked car. And then you're back to joining what is quite a busy roundabout. And one of the things they're going to be looking for is decisiveness. No hesitation, but safety. Watching for the car pulling out. So I'd normally be going a little bit quicker than I am now, but I am waiting to find the junction that I'm looking for, which is here. I'm coming back down into a 40 anyway. Yeah, don't you come right up behind me, mate. It's a 40 mile an hour. And that's why. A little bump there. Okay, so come off the junction here. Okay, so we're on the way back to the test centre. Most people statistically fail their test in the first 5 to 10 minutes or the last 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so you're going to come down here. You've got 3 lanes. They'll probably tell you to stay in the middle if you're in Norwich, but if not, just keep going forward. Don't deviate from forward unless you're told to. And one of the things to remember is if you take an exit or a junction wrong, you miss here, you can't fail for that. What you'd fail for is if they told you to turn right and you're in the left-hand lane and you still tried to go right. That's what you're going to fail for. So if you get yourself in the wrong lane, stay in the wrong lane and transact, so to speak, what you can safely do, which is I'm in the right hand lane, they've asked me to go left, sorry, I'm going to be going right. Now the examiner, depending on where that is, might get a bit peeved with you for that, because it might take you well out of the way of where he wants to go. So we can go left here. So this is the approach back to the test centre. Remember, we're back into a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm actually going to pull into where the test centre is this time. I'm not going to go into the test centre. And there will be plenty of people about. I don't want to be the reason that they have issues on their test. Okay, and then last exit at the roundabout, turning in, and you'll return to the test centre. When you do return to the test centre, I'm not going to go in, like I say. Make sure that you just drive the bike in forwards, park it, put it in neutral, put the stand down, turn it off. And there we go. So that was my test route. You can see the things at the dual carriageways, A roads, getting up to 60, 70 mile an hour quite frequently. Some twisty country roads, if you're in a geography that's going to be allowed, or allows that, I should say. You're going to do a little bit of kind of housing estates. You're going to be pulled over. There was no hill starts on mine. The route just didn't allow for it. There was nowhere we could do a hill start. You're going to have left turns, right turns, lots of junctions. Here comes a couple of people actually going out on their test. So, good luck to them. And as you can see, they will follow you behind. Typically on a bike, maybe they'll follow you in the car. So, if this has been helpful, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit that bell, share it with someone that you know that's sitting there Mod 2. But yeah, give us some support. We can then do more. The more you support us, the more information we can get across to you to help you. I really hope this video has helped. Give me some comments down below. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know how you had your Mod 2, how you found it, what you found good, what you struggled with. If you failed it, I'd love to hear what you failed on, because my experience is that there is so much grey area with motorbikes compared to cars. Give us a shout. I look forward to seeing you next time.